Welcome to another edition of New Start Now, a program that showcases guests in our 18-day New Start lifestyle session here at Weimar, California. My name is Ron Giannone and I'm your host today. With me to my left I have Alice Jackson. Alice has an amazing testimony to tell us about, but before we get into that, Alice, I'd like to show the viewers our interview when you first got here. Is that okay?
Okay.
Go.
For the last couple of years, I've had difficulties with iron deficiency, particularly ferritin, which is the iron that's stored in your tissues. And it's a prolonged program to get it built back up again. And during that time, a person is really low in energy. And so over the last couple of years, I've been lying around a lot. So in these last couple of years, while I was having difficulty with my health, drinking caffeine and smoking cigarettes and eating sugary snacks became worse for me. I got worse at it instead of better. And so all that time, I was thinking that if I had the opportunity to come up here and reverse that, and get some definite instruction on how to eat better and how to take care of myself.
Well, that's an amazing testimony to start with, but my question now is, how are you feeling? What's going on?
Well, I feel a big difference in my well-being and my energy level, my health, much better.
You look different.
Do I?
Yeah, well, you look better, more vibrant. Mm-hmm. But tell me, how's the sugar cravings and?
Well, I think I'm an expert on withdrawals now because I had to withdraw from just about everything I was doing in my life. But sugar withdrawals was probably lasted just a couple of days, I would say, and they weren't that bad because we ate as much food as we wanted at our meal times, and so there was no hunger. Just the habit of having sweets, had to deal with that. The caffeine, I noticed right away. The first day I noticed that I was reaching for my cup of coffee and it wasn't there, but I got over that pretty quickly too. And then the cigarette smoking, of course, was the hardest, and I still wonder what I'll have to do at home to make sure I'm not tempted, what things I may have to do differently. But being up here in an environment where there is no smoking, I think I'm doing very well.
Let's go back to the caffeine. Mm-hmm. Now, before you got here, you drank, how much coffee did you drink a day?
If you count little cups, I used big cups, but I think the average cup size, I probably drank about 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day.
Okay, very strong, or?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you felt a withdrawal from that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the cigarettes, you felt a withdrawal. Are you still withdrawing, or you feel it's complete?
No, I don't feel a physical, any kind of distress. I think that's a chemical withdrawing. I think right now it's mostly how I lived my life before was I worked things around my cigarette habit because it's not polite to smoke anywhere now. Yeah. And so I had to fit my life around my cigarette habit. So now I have to kind of rethink that when I get home.
Okay, good. Now, tell us a little bit about the program you've been through. Did you have fun?
Yes, definitely. It's been a lot of fun, even though that I had my personal struggles to go through in the early days. But everyone, all the guests, we're like I know it sounds cliche, but we're like a family. We're very supportive of each other, and I would think most groups are probably like this one. We have a lot of fun, and getting out and walking and being in a beautiful place like this mm-hmm. Is certainly fun and exhilarating. So yes, it was very enjoyable.
Okay, of all the things that you've experienced here at Weimar, what is this memorable moment that you'll take home with you? Any one particular thing that happened?
Well, I was sitting in our lectures. We are lectured frequently, daily, and sometimes more than once a day. and realized probably in about the 5th or 6th lecture that the person giving the lecture is a doctor, a medical doctor, and it struck me. It took a couple times before I really realized what a rare opportunity this is to be trained and taught by these professionals who live this lifestyle themselves and have for many years, and just to have them up close and available for questioning day after day after day. I realized that was just very rare opportunity.
You say they're available for questioning. You mean you can just walk into their office, or were they on campus available to you most of the time?
The doctors are visible on campus and at meal times and just different times during the day.
You mean they eat with you?
They eat with us.
Okay.
They, if nothing else, walk through and say hello. They stop if anyone has something to say to them. They stop. They're never in a hurry. Yes, they're completely accessible.
Well, surely you found that your doctors at home were about the same, weren't they?
No.
No, they weren't.
Very hard to get a hold of and to get their attention for any length of time, at home.
Okay. And now I understand that you're walking quite a bit. How far are you walking each day?
Well, I've walked more than 3 miles a day, and this is from at home. I wasn't walking at all, so I had to start up gradually. But the most I've gone, I think, in a day where I measured, was probably a little under 4 miles.
Well, that's excellent. Good. What about the food now? I'm hearing that you had an ordeal with the food, or was it you that I heard that about?
I had no ordeal with the food.
Not at all?
No.
So you love the food?
I love the food. Everything is fresh and beautifully displayed. It all looks appetizing. It smells good, and after a couple of days, your appetite gets used to the routine of when the meals are, and it's much easier to switch over to this diet than I thought it would be. That was not difficult at all.
Now, you're a married lady, I know. I met your husband. And when you go home, you're going to be doing the cooking at home? Mm-hmm. And is he going to adjust to your new lifestyle?
Everybody at home is anxiously awaiting me to get there and start cooking for them. They've come up to visit here and joined us for different meals. My husband probably had about 6 meals here, and my son had 1. And they're trying to duplicate it at home right now by themselves, and they're going to be happy for me to come home and start cooking the real thing.
Now, we have about 30 seconds left. Is there anything you'd like to convey to the viewing audience that might inspire them in any way?
Well, I'm just happy that I did this because there's so much conflicting information out there about how we should eat or how we should live. If we find out that one thing is not good for us, if we look hard enough, we can find someone saying that it might be okay to have, exercise this much or exercise that much. And I wanted to go somewhere where the people could teach me without a doubt that there is a system, a way of living that includes all these elements that really works. And here at Weimar, it's taught by people who are actually living the lifestyle themselves. And like I said, they've been doing it for a while. So they are, it's much different from reading a book or trying to figure this out on your own. And I'm glad that I'll be able to go home and not second guess my choices when I make a menu or I shop. I know what to do now, without a doubt.
All right. Alice, thank you for joining us. Folks, don't go away. We have an exciting program for you ahead. We'll be back in just a moment. God bless.
Well, you've done very well. Do you have diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or do you weigh too much? Hi, my name is Dr. Ring, and I'd like to tell you about our 18-day New Start Lifestyle program. It includes a comprehensive medical evaluation with laboratory studies and an exercise stress test, physician consultations, culinary school, and an opportunity to walk on beautiful trails in the foothills of the Sierras. Your health is one of the most important things that you have. Don't wait. Give us a call at 800-525-9192 or visit our website, newstart.com.
Welcome back, folks. I have an exciting guest here right now. It's Dr. Lukens to my left. Welcome, Dr. Lukens. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So tell me, we just seen this testimony. It can't be that easy. What's going on here? Tell me in your own doctor words, what's happening?
Well, you know, when Alice came, I saw someone that was very timid, very fearful, and frankly very defeated. And she had tried for 37 years. That's how long she'd been smoking, since age 11,
Wow.
to give this habit up. And I said, well, do you have children? She said, yes, I have 2. And I said, well, did you know during the time that you were having children that tobacco smoking was harmful? And she said, yes, I did. I said, well, then what did you do? She said, I tried my hardest to give up cigarette smoking. She said, I just did the very, very best that I could. And she said, I'd cut it way, way down, but I always had to know that that cigarette was there.
Well, had
That
she
I could
ever
have it.
had she ever tried anything else? Like, I know there's products on the market. You take this pill, you can quit smoking in a couple of days. Has she ever done anything like that?
The
Or is
thing
it
is,
truly Weimar or the New Start program that has helped her stop this addiction?
the thing is that all of those situations, it still takes that personal commitment, which she had, but she had to have the realization that she could be strong enough to do it. And that's what had been lacking. She would get down to where she might just smoke 1 or 2 or 3 cigarettes during her whole pregnancy. Per week during her pregnancy. So she was trying her very hardest, but she had to know that that cigarette was still there if she needed it.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay. And I agree. But what is it about the New Start program that assisted her in stopping this addiction?
Well, I think that it's a lot of different things, but one of the things that's huge, is that we got her exercising. She had just come off of a prolonged illness, and she mentioned that, where she just didn't have any energy, so she hadn't done any physical exercise. And that can make a person feel defeated right there. And so she started moving, started exercising, and that was big. Then we had food that wasn't stimulating. And it was wholesome and nutritious, but it was calming to her as well. She also talked about the caffeine, and that's another thing. Those two seem to go together. You know, it's a habit.
Caffeine and cigarettes?
Yeah. You sit down and you have your cup of coffee and you have your cigarette. And it's just like that. But the main thing is that she had to know that she could do it. And on day 3, when it was probably the hardest, she almost quit. They called me up in the morning and they said, Alice's bags are packed and she's on her way.
Oh, really?
That's
And this
right.
was day 3, you
This
said?
is day 3, yeah.
Oh,
And so fortunately, we were able to get there and I said, look, let's kneel down and let's pray about this. God has wonderful power and He can help you stop. And I talked to her husband later and he says, I don't want to be hard-nosed, Doc, but he said, I was able to quit because at one stage, I saw somebody smoking. It was so detestable to me. I thought, I don't ever want to do that again. But she had tried so many times, even through the pregnancies and stuff. And so I said, let's pray about it. And a friend of hers came, and so she went off the campus for a while and talked to her friend. And then her friend says, now what are you going to do? And she says, I've got to go back.
right.
And then by day 4 and 5, the physical addictions were over with. Pretty much, and we know that. That's what the 5-day plan to stop smoking did. But she still needed that extra length of time to settle into it and realize that, hey, by God's help, I can do this. By being on these simple principles of health,
So
I'm going to be able to make this journey.
So what I hear you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is first exercise, and then food, and then third you mentioned obviously trust in the Lord. Is that the way it works, or can anybody do this? Can anyone come here to the New Start program and stop smoking?
Well, they're all together. They all have to hit at the same time, otherwise it won't work. But you know, a very famous American writer said, "Oh, it's really easy to stop smoking. I've done it 1,000 times." And that's what people, you know, they think, well, sure, you know, she's there 18 days and she's under a special situation. But I think that she has the confidence now, and as we follow her and keep encouraging her, she realizes that now she can do it because she did it for longer than she's ever done in the last 37 years.
Now, aside from the smoking addiction, were there any other ailments that she was dealing with, or is that pretty much it? I know that she wanted to lose some weight, she mentioned.
Yeah, you know, and like I say, she had been defeated for 1.5 years. She just had no hope that she was going to be able to get her energy back. She was anemic. She had all these other problems, and after a while, you know, day in and day out, you just lose hope, you lose confidence, and you have to get that back. She has a walk with the Lord, but it was something that she needed extra to help, and that's what she got when she came.
Now, what about now that she's going to leave the New Start program? She's leaving Weimar and she goes home. What about them? What do we have in place to assist her at that point? Or do we?
It'll be the follow-up, yeah. She's supposed to fill out an 8-week chart. But one of the things that I told her is I said, you know, your family is going to gain victories in areas in their life when they see you victorious, and that will also make a huge difference for her.
Amen. So we appreciate the fact that people can come here and stop smoking. Are there any other addictions that perhaps we can help people with?
Well, you know, smoking may be the hardest. It's twice as addictive. Of course, when you're addicted, but somebody told me that just very recently. They said it was easier for me to give up heroin than it was to give up tobacco smoking.
Goodness.
And I was, you know, I was surprised at that. But it's so pervasive and it's acceptable, you know. You can't be shooting up heroin and stuff like that. There's a lot of things, but society is getting down on it. And now the most recent thing I heard is there's third-hand smoke. So it's in the hair, it's in the clothes, and they can actually measure some of these products in infants and children that are held by these people and have close contact with smokers. And now that it's a new term, they call it third-hand smoke. This was just this month that I heard that.
Now, since she has been here, has she smoked at all?
No,
Not at all.
She stopped the very day she came through, and that was the problem. Day 3, every part of her body was just screaming out for something, and like I say, she didn't have the confidence that she could do it, but she realized where to go to get that confidence.
And what did her husband have to say to you when he's found out that she quit?
Well, what do you think? Because see, he's been smoke-free since about 1990.
Any final words to our viewing audience as to what someone might do?
Well, people think that if they try to quit smoking and they don't, each time they try and they fail, that there's less of a chance that they're going to ever be able to stop. But it's just the opposite. The more times you try, the more likely it is that you will finally succeed. So don't ever give up.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lukens, for joining us. God bless you, and we appreciate your wisdom.
It's really, really my pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And folks, don't go away, because in our final segment, we're going to find out how you too can begin your journey to wellness. Don't go away. We'll be right back. God bless.
Hi, I'm Kathy. Welcome to New Start at Home. Today I have with us Don McIntosh. And Don, you're going to share with us a little bit about trust.
Yes, trust. I mean, have you ever heard the expression, trust me?
Yeah.
And what is trust? It's really putting your confidence or faith in someone. I have a Bible here today, and one of my favorite texts is from Proverbs. It says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not on thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy paths. Did you know they did studies of people that actually trusted in the Lord with all their heart? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
And they found amazing outcomes with these people. For instance, they had fewer symptoms of and better health outcomes concerning cancer, high blood pressure, heart disease, all of these different areas. And people that then end up going to church, what do you suppose happens to them? What do you think?
Gain more trust.
They even have more trust. And it's not just because going to church is good, but because they really believe in God. Those that have what's called intrinsic religiosity, in other words, it really was from within. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. They had lower death rates from all diseases, no matter what else they did in life. And also, if you trust in the Lord, you have an increase in your immune system. It just seems to, if you trust in the Lord, you trust Him to take care of things, it seems like the immune system goes up. Now, get this. Let me ask you this question. Do you suppose that people have more trust or less trust if they attend weekly or monthly at church?
Oh, I would think weekly. I would hope weekly.
Well, I suppose depending on the pastor, right? But I think, and the other people at the church, but it is true. Those that go weekly, they have an increased benefit across the board. And get this, the best part is that people that are suffering from various conditions, like for instance, let's take depression. All kinds of people struggling with depression, maybe even some today. And those people, they have a hard time even believing in God. But once they start believing in God, and once they start trusting Him, did you know they recover from depression 70% sooner than other people? So trust is really kind of important.
Wow, that's very exciting.
So depressed people, they recover 70% sooner, and they have fewer complications just about from everything. So bottom line is, I think that trust is something that is very important. And how do you gain trust? That might be some way to go about it. How do you do this at home? Can you be trusting at home? Sure. How can you demonstrate your trust in God? Maybe just by calling out to Him, laying your cares upon Him, casting your burdens upon Him, saying, I trust you to take care of it. I can't do anything more about it. Just help me with it and take care of it for me. And when that happens, then that burden is rolled off your chest, rolled off your mind, and you can start out. Another way to demonstrate trust is by being with people who are trusting God and drawing strength from their faith. And, what do you do?
I noticed that with some of our guests that come through here that are trying to quit smoking, that they say that they do gain their trust from other people when the other people are here, the workers that work here. And I've had people say that to me, that, I don't have enough faith, but I put my trust in them, and they're praying for me, and they gain that trust almost secondhand, and until they learn to make that habit themselves.
And that's the great thing about a program like New Start, but you can do it at home as well. New Start at Home. We do this here at the program over 19 days. People come from all walks of life. They come together. They start to gain trust in the people that are putting the program on. They put their faith in them, and then they see physical outcomes that increase their trust more and more over that 90-day period. They see amazing things, but it doesn't have to be done here. You can start it right at home, right?
Yes, you
What's
can.
that text? Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not on thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, whether you're eating, sleeping, drinking, whatever it is, and He will direct thy paths.
Don, is there more information about this topic on trust?
Of course. I think that's the reason that you folks started that wonderful website. What's the name of that website?
Newstart.com.
Newstart.com. And if you go to newstart.com, trust me, there's all kinds of more tidbits on this issue of trust. and we'll walk you through different steps there. You get all kinds of more resources, and your trust will increase, and of course you're going to avoid all those diseases and the things that we talked about. You'll see not only physical resources, but emotional, social, and spiritual resources on the website as they relate to trust.
Well, thank you, Don, for joining us today. And for more information about trust and about the 18-Day Lifestyle Program, please visit our website, www.newstart.com.
Hi, I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have this edition of New Start Now. I'm Jim Brackett, Executive Vice President here at the Weimar Center. I want to take just a moment to give you an idea of some of the wonderful resources we have here at the bookstore, such as Dr. Nedley's book called Proof Positive. Now, in addition to Dr. Nedley's book, he has a series on depression recovery. We have the New Start Lifestyle series on DVD by our New Start physicians relating to topics in diabetes, heart disease, cancer. We have a number of authors who have cookbooks here, including some in the raw field. Now, we'd love to have you stop by and visit us for your shopping, but you can do it online at newstart.com. Click the link that says bookstore, or use our 800 number, 525-9192. And by the way, anytime your order is $100 or more, we'll see that you get free the New Start Lifestyle Cookbook.
Hi friends, we hope you enjoyed this edition of New Start Now. Well, let's sit back and take a look at what happened here. Alice came to us with a lot of different problems, addictions, if you will, coffee, cigarettes, perhaps a little depression or anxiety. And I'm here to tell you that we can overcome these things. I too, when I came to Weimar, I was morbidly obese, depressed. I drank coffee and alcohol, and I smoked at one time in my life. All these things are gone. Why are they gone? Because I came here. I came here, I got well. Like Alice, I was healed. And the reason is we have an environment that supports well-being. So when you come here, you're interviewed with doctors and nurses, and you're looked after. So don't be afraid to pick up that phone and give us a call. Call us now, in fact. Call us at 800-525-9192. Call us right now, 800-525-9192. And yes, even you're a little afraid or apprehensive, pick up that phone and call us. God bless.